We're past the midway point of the NFL season, so it's time to take a closer look at some of the most competitive divisions. Starting off with the NFC North, the Vikings just jumped ahead of the Packers, now 7-2, Packers 6-3. This Vikings defense has emerged as one of the best in the league. Is that enough to make them the best team in this division?
Potentially, it is. Mike Zimmer is known for his defensive chops and what he's able to do on that side of the football, and he's starting to build this defense in an image of him. I mean, he went out in the draft and got Trey Waynes. Everybody wanted them to go get a receiver for Teddy Bridgewater. He goes out, gets the corner. You got a nice mixture of veterans and young players on this defense. They're getting after the quarterback. They don't have to necessarily blitz, but when they do, it's effective. Linval Joseph is playing out of his mind. They're getting really good play out of the cornerback position. This is a scary team, and if they continue to play the type of football they're playing on the defensive side, they're going to be a hard out in the NFC North.
And that defense has been extremely good when it matters. In third down situations, they're ranked second in the league in opponents' third down conversions rate. Also good in the red zone. This defense allowing 17 points per game. We see what they're doing on the defensive end, but offensively, AP really producing week to week, establishing that running game, now leading the leading rushing, is on pace now to have 1,700 yards at the end of the season. Is that enough for this team offensively, or does Teddy Bridgewater have to step up?
At some point, he's going to have to step up. Teams are going to start loading up the box to stop Adrian Peterson. He actually said he loves running against those 8-man fronts because all he has to do is break one tackle and he's off to the races. But at some point, Teddy Bridgewater is going to have to make some plays. He did that against the Lions when he threw for over 300 yards. He can make plays, but the thing I love about this Vikings team that makes them dangerous is the fact that they don't play outside of themselves. They know who they are. They know what they want to do each and every single game. Run the football, play sound defense, don't beat ourselves. That's what they do. That's why they're 7-2 right now.
And the NFC East, the Giants still ahead, 5-5, Redskins 4-5, and the Eagles 4-6. Still a tight race. Do you envision any of these teams separating themselves?
I was a firm believer before Week 10 that the Eagles were going to be that team. Now that Sam Bradford is injured and that Eagles team blew an opportunity to beat the Dolphins at home, I'm starting to second-guess myself there. I think if anyone's going to run away, it would be the Giants, but I don't think the Giants are good enough to run away either. I think this division is literally going to come down to Week 17.
You know what? Last year, I thought that Mark Sanchez, he's a guy that can come in and be productive. I won't say consistently, but I am thinking, look at Sam Bradford. This guy has not been productive throughout the whole season. If they can get a little bit more production from Mark Sanchez, which Chip Kelly seems to be confident that might happen. I wouldn't take his word for it, but I still think this Eagles team can be the team that runs away with this.
The Giants have the best quarterback in the division with the teams that are in this race, with Eli Manning. They're starting to get pressure on the quarterback with Jason Pierre-Paul. They're a team that I think is gaining a little bit of confidence. I look at Mark Sanchez and I call him Dirty Chaz because he always seems to do the one thing you say, hey, Mark, you can't do that. He did it against the Dolphins in the game. All they need is a field goal to take the lead. First down, he throws an interception in the end zone. They cannot win with Mark Sanchez at quarterback. If this division is going to come down to two teams, and again, Sam Bradford might only be out for 2 weeks. They still will be in this division. We'll see Redskins, Giants, huge matchup. No matter what happens with the Panthers in Week 11, huge matchup, Week 12. That should be very interesting.
The AFC South, the Houston Texans just jumped ahead of the Colts to be atop of that division. How do you see this one shaking out?
The AFC South is amazing because everyone has a shot. The 2-7 Titans aren't even dead in that division, but realistically, the Jaguars are at 3-6. They feel good about what they were able to accomplish on the road against Baltimore. You just talked about the Texans. What a win on Monday night versus the undefeated Bengals. No one gave them a chance in that game. They go there and win. They're playing with confidence now. I still think when it's all said and done, the Indianapolis Colts are going to find a way to win that division. But I'm telling you right now, Free, the Texans are starting to believe, and that defense is starting to play. And I told you last time that this defense was very disappointing. If they get it together, that could be a scary team in that division.
Andrew Luck out with a lacerated kidney indefinitely at this point. Matt Hasselbeck seems to be running this offense a lot better than Andrew Luck has this season. So to me, he's going to give them a better shot at coming out of this division and really competing in the AFC.
He's 87 years old. So I always worry about guys when they're that.
But he's a veteran, and he's a guy that has shown that he can make the right plays. At this point, this team might be able to survive if they can just have a game manager and a guy that's not going to give the ball away and a guy that's not going to give the game away.
I just don't know if that team is good enough to rally around Matt Hasselbeck or not. We'll see.
And lastly, the AFC North. This shouldn't even be a discussion, but for the fact that the Bengals just lost one on Monday Night Football, primetime, to the Texans, a team they're supposed to beat.
Yes.
Is there a shot that the Steelers creep up behind them and take the mantle in that division?
It's very possible. It's definitely on the table. I would feel a lot more comfortable saying yes had the Steelers not lost that game to them a couple weeks back at home. I would feel a lot more comfortable had they not lost Le'Veon Bell, their all-world back for the season. But with this Cincinnati Bengals team, and I told you this on the last program, I don't trust that football team. And because I don't trust them, anything's possible. I give the Steelers a legit shot still in that division. Even though they're 3 games back, they're still in it.
Injuries play a huge role in this. Health is on the Bengals' side. I don't trust them in the playoffs, but I do trust them to wrap up this division. That does it for this segment, Divisional Snapshots. Let the chips fall as they may.